100 Laws of Life, a guide to inner strength law. 1. The law of self-focus. Focus on your growth. People will come and go. Only you remain with yourself. Law 2. The law of the mind. If you don't master your mind, someone else surely will. Law 3. The law of broken. Vision. Sometimes a broken heart clears your vision better than joy ever could. Law 4. The law of solitude. Loneliness is the price you pay for becoming your best self. Law 5. The law of survival. Be proud of surviving the days you thought would break you. Law 6. The law of acceptance. Not everyone will like you. That is the nature of life. Law 7. The law of silence. Keep parts of your life private. Most people don't care, and some quietly hope you fail. Law 8. The law of boundaries. Be kind, but do not let kindness turn into weakness. Law 9. The law of authenticity. It's better to be disliked for who you are than loved for who you're not. Law 10. The law of false impressing. Never go broke trying to impress people who are already broke. Law 11. The law of energy protection. Stay away from people who drain your spirit. Law 12. The law of company. No company is better than bad company. Law 13. The law of the past. Make peace with your past or it will poison your present. Law 14. The law of comparison. Comparison kills joy. Every path is unique. Law 15. The law of ignorance. Never underestimate how much harm ignorance can cause. Law 16. The law of responsibility. Your life is yours to figure out. No one else will. Law 17. The law of learning. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Law 18. The law of walking alone. If nobody helps, keep walking anyway. Law 19. The law of finance. Take money seriously. It protects against many storms. Law 20. The law of time. Be selfish with your time. Most people don't deserve it. Law 21. The law of detachment. What others think of you is none of your business. Law 22. The law of renewal. You can't change the beginning, but you can start now and change the ending. Law 23. The law of solitude's gift. Being alone reconnects you with yourself. Law 24. The law of clarity. See people for what they show you, not what you hope they are. Law 25. The law of simplicity. Do not pretend to be more than you are. Live at your own pace. Law 26. The law of forgiveness. Life is too short to waste on hate. Forgive, release, move on. Law 27. The law of darkness. Your darkest moment may be the seed of your greatest growth. Law 28. The law of envy. Envy blinds you. What you already have is enough. Law 29. The law of asking. If you don't ask, you don't receive. Law 30. The golden law. Treat others as you want to be treated. Law 31. The law of truth. Speak truth and you'll never need to remember your lies. Law 2. The law of fairness. Life isn't fair, and yet it is still good. Law 33. The law of courage. Without risk, nothing worthwhile is ever achieved. Law 34. The law of action. Don't trust words. Trust consistent actions. Law 35. The law of wealth. Do yourself a favor. Get rich. Money gives options. Law 36. The law of thoughts. If you can survive your thoughts, you can survive anything. Law 37. The law of appreciation. If they don't value you, they don't deserve you. Law 38. The law of healing. Learn to heal without telling the world. Law 39. The law of timing. Everything comes in its season. Trust the process. Law 40. The law of failure. Failure is a bruise, not a tattoo. Law 41. The law of gossip. Avoid gossip. It poisons your mind. Law 42. The law of attachment. The root of suffering is attachment. Law 43. The law of times. Truth. Time always reveals where you stand in others' lives. And Law 44. The law of stress. Stress is temporary, but its lessons last. Law 45. The law of shadows. if they try to bring you down. They're already below you. Law 46. The law of balanced money isn't everything, but it solves many problems. Law 47. The law of humility. No one likes arrogance. Humility builds greatness. Law 48. The law of goodness. Never regret having a good heart. Good returns in time. Law 49. The law of friendship. Choose your circle wisely. Better people make you better. Law 50. The law of loyalty. Be loyal or stay single. Law 51. The law of expectation. Expect nothing. Appreciate everything. Law 52. The law of gratitude. Gratitude for small things brings inner peace. Law 53. The law of effort. Do your best and trust the process. Law 54. The law of hard. Work the harder you work, the luckier you get. Law 55. The law of projection. What others say is a reflection of their world, not yours. Law 56. The law of bound forgiveness. Be forgiving, but not a fool. Law 57. The law of clarity in words. Never say maybe if you mean no. Law 58. The law of revelation. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Law 59. The law of self-respect. Your self-respect must be stronger than your emotions. Law 60. The law of equanimity. Don't let success blind you or failure crush you. Law 61. The law of discipline. Discipline is the truest form of self-respect. Law 62. The law of giving. Givers must know their limits. Takers don't. Law 63. The law of silence. In anger. When angry, remain silent. Law 64. The law of choice in life. You can watch, wonder, or act. Choose to act. Law 65. The law of strength. Stay strong, even as things fall apart. Law 66. The law of judgment. You're judged no matter what, so be yourself. Law 67. The law of harmony. You don't have to win every argument. Learn to let go. Law 68. The law of serenity. No regrets, just lessons. No expectations, just gratitude. Law 69. The law of calmness. The calmer you are, the clearer you think. Law 70. The law of interest. To be interesting, be interested. Law 71. The law of failure's value. If you never fall, you never grow. Law 72. The law of hatred. Hatred poisons only the one who holds it. Law 73. The law of imagination. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Law 74. The law of impermanence. People change, friends leave, love hurts, yet life goes on. Law 75. The law of saying no. Learn to say no without guilt or explanation. Law 76. The law of quiet goodness. Be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. Law 77. The law of privacy. Move in silence. Let results speak. Law 78. The law of honesty. If you want trust, be honest. Law 79. The law of ownership. Your dreams are yours to build. No one else cares more. Law 80. The law of learning from pain. Forget what hurt you, but keep the lesson. Law 81. The law of mastery. Mastering yourself is greater than mastering others. Law 82. The law of limits. Even the kindest soul has limits. Respect yours. Law 83. The law of direction. Your direction matters more than your speed. Law 84. The law of thought. Control your thoughts, or they will control you. Law 85. The law of privacy's power. Privacy is power. Oversharing weakens you. Law 86. The law of emotions. Never make permanent choices on temporary feelings. Law 87. The law of resilience. To be the best, learn to handle the worst. Law 88. The law of impermanence of struggles. No obstacle lasts forever. Law 89. The law of humility in debate. If you always think you're right, you learn nothing. Law 90. The law of patience. The best things come when you least expect them. Law 91, the law of perspective. Good days bring joy. Bad days bring lessons. Law 92, the law of opportunity. Life is a one-time offer. Use it well. Law 93, the law of authenticity and be yourself. Approval is optional. Law 94, the law of detachment from society. Most people don't know what they're doing. Live your way. Law 95, the law of solitude's strength. Some paths must be walked alone. Law 96, the law of chosen family. The family you create matters more than the one you're born into. Law 97, the law of impermanence in life. Life is short. Live it fully. Law 98, the law of cherishing. Love is rare. Fear is useless. Memories are treasures. Law 99, the law of inner strength. First, it hurts. Then it makes you stronger. Law 100,